So what we're going to look at now is how we can install binaries on the Ubuntu operating system. So when we've installed software on other operating systems, let's say the Apple operating system or the Microsoft operating system, we will have almost exclusively been installing binaries. It's very rare to install software from source. We did that in a previous video, and it's quite time consuming. It requires some specialized skills, and it's easy to see why average users are not frequently asked to install software from source. It can be a very, very complicated task. Binaries are very, very simple and quick, and Linux has a really, really good way of installing binaries. I think it's fantastic. So the way it works is that all the software that you would want to install generally is placed in these things called repositories. So they're called apt2 repositories. And these are websites that are distributed around the world where we can download and install software from for free. And all the software that sits in these repositories is checked by people in the open source community. So it's all checked and verified to ensure that none of the software in there are viruses. All the software is doing exactly what it says it should and nothing else. So it's quite a secure way of obtaining software, and it's very quick and easy. So each individual PC will point to a specific repository, and they generally point to a repository that is quite geographically close. And the reason for that is that websites that are geographically close to us download quite quickly. So I can look at which particular repository this machine is pointing to. So if I do /etc sources.list, sorry, there needs to be an apt in here. This shows me all of the different sites which my Ubuntu system will be obtaining software from. So we can actually go to one of these websites and we can see that it's an RNet mirror. It's both an FTP and HTTP site, and it's going to contain all of the software that my Ubuntu machine will require. Now, if I want to install software from this particular repository, it's really easy. I just do sudo apt get install and the name of the software. So before we installed a piece of software called Pingus, we can type Pingus and password 123, my most secure password in the world. And then that's it. That's Pingus installed. It was that easy. You know, compiling took quite a long time. Installing from binaries is really, really fast. So it's a really, really good way to obtain software. And I think this is a really good approach, and it leads into an important discussion about where you obtain software from. So, you know, if Microsoft sends you a CD that says that it's Microsoft Office, or if Adobe sends you a CD that says it's, you buy a CD that says it's Microsoft Office, you buy a CD that says it's some sort of Adobe product, you can be pretty sure that that particular company is distributing you software that is exactly what it says it is and does nothing else. It's not a virus, it doesn't contain any malware. So, you know, if Microsoft or Adobe included malware in their normal standard software, they would go out of business very quickly. So it's in their interest not to be including any of those components. So people that have Windows systems and install their software from trusted sources generally stay well away from viruses and malware. I think the problem arrives when people start randomly Googling on the internet for software, looking for free software for their system. And when you're obtaining software from sources that you cannot trust, you do not know that that binary does not contain viruses or malware. You can't be sure that that software is not doing extra things in addition to being whatever it claims to be. And I think that's how a lot of people get malware and spyware and viruses on their machines. So this is the apt system. Obviously it works for servers as well, because it's an entirely command-driven system to install software. We can remove software as well. So if we just replace install with remove, we can remove that software. It's very, very easy and simple. Now, this works when you know exactly what software you want. When you don't know what software you want, you can use the Ubuntu Software Center. Now, that's really just a GUI that is a front end for this apt system that we just explored on the command line. all the Ubuntu Software Center really does is it compiles all the available software into a sort of pretty front end, which allows you to search for different bits of software. So let's say you don't know exactly the software that you're going to require. You can use the Ubuntu Software Center to obtain it. But I would recommend doing everything via apt because it's what you would do on a particular server. But you can explore the Ubuntu Software Center in your own time. So that's installing binaries on a Unix system.